What is up? What is up? What is up, y'all? Let me move all this around a little bit. How are y'all today? Let's see today if we can end up hitting, I want to say 1,560. That would be super damn cool. But real quick, let me go and open up the chat just because for some reason I cannot see the chat on the side of my screen no more. I started touching stuff before and that screwed me. So I'm gonna go and see. I'm gonna go open this up. Perfect. And then, oh wait, I forgot. I actually need to share this in my Discord. I didn't even know I could make a post on YouTube directly with that button. That's crazy. So we're gonna go at everyone and we're gonna paste this link. My bad, y'all. Today I'm not really like feeling it just because of something that happened yesterday, but you know, at the end of the day, I still gotta keep going, still gotta keep grinding. I should have a video coming out tomorrow about exactly what the hell happened today, but it's a little draining. Hey, what's up, Coding with Adam? What is up? What is up? How are you, man? Let me see if I can share this as a YouTube post. I didn't even know. That is crazy. Let me put live right now. Don't miss it or something. I don't know. And then last but not least, I need to put this on my Instagram. Try to build the hype. Y'all know what I mean. Gotta build the hype. So we're gonna paste this here and then live right now. So allow people from the Insta to come. And then perfect. Fast forward this a little bit. Okie doke. Okay, so now I got the chat open over here. Actually, no, I keep forgetting I need this for something else. I'm gonna have to have the chat open over here. Delete the chat over that one. Take the chat over that one. And then we're gonna be good over here. Make sure you're on the liking up this stream. By the way, if you're here, like it up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. So today we're gonna be building a project. You might be thinking, what are we going to be building? Well, I'm pretty good. But well, we are going to be building a number sorter that we have built off of Free Code Camp. But I want to be able to build it here just to practice a bit of my skills. So I think that is going to be pretty damn cool, if I do say so myself. Let me go. I think actually, you know what? Never mind. Scratch that. Sorry, I was trying to edit something. Oh, never mind. I screwed up by trying to edit it. I need to put my sub goal back up there. So I'm gonna go 1,560. Let's see if we can hit that today. Then go 1,500 and I think it's like 57 I'm at or something. 56. Not too sure. Not too shabby. And then we're gonna start that goal. So now my sub goal is up to date. But let's go and jump to the new live scene. Let's just immediately get into this. The only thing, or not that scene, my bad. This new live scene. And the only thing I need to change is just that this is 161. And then, no, yeah, that should be good. So let's go and actually start this. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong spot. Why did I go to Free Code Camp? I don't even know. But alright, y'all. So here we have this beautiful code that is going to be making this number sorter end up working. So I'm going to go and show you exactly what this number sorter is. But if you can see, this is all pretty much easy stuff as long as you try to break it down, understand what everything literally is. I was gonna say, I don't know where they're getting option from, but okay, that makes sense. Then yeah, pretty much everything is kind of its own thing. If you broke down the code, this would be super simple. If you look at it in the bigger picture, you're gonna freak out. So that is where the issue is. Now let's go and just click over here. We're gonna open this, and this is what this number sorter looks like. It's not completely identical to the one from Free Code Camp, but it's definitely similar. I think Free Code Camp allows like 6 numbers, but we have an add button number where we could do this. So what this is supposed to do is that it's going to go from smallest to largest, but it's also going to give you the mean, the median, the mode, and the range. So let me, oh damn, and they do big numbers. I didn't think that they did. This wasn't supposed to be that big of numbers. So let's go 112, 38, 2, 6, and then let's go 100 again, right? Let's go and sort this. So now they end up sorting it from smallest to largest. As you can see, we started with 100, 12, 38. It goes 2, 6, 12, 38, 100, 100. So it puts it in order. It shows how much of the count there is. It shows the minimum and it shows the max. So the minimum is 2, the max is 100, right? Then we get into the mean. The mean here is 43, and I believe to calculate the mean, that's when you add everything up and then you divide it by however much numbers are here. Then you got the median, which is, I think I'm missing one, but then you got the median, which is the middle number, which I'm surprised because I thought the median was supposed to be, maybe I'm tripping, but I thought the median was supposed to be whatever. Oh, but that's because there's not even numbers. We did 6. I mean, there's not an odd number. If we did something like this real quick and we did like 13, then they would pick a number. Oh no, they wouldn't. Oh wait, no, I didn't sort. Then they would pick a number that we put here, which would be like 12.5 for the median. But then 100 would be the range, 100 is the mode. Mode being however much is here, the range being what's the highest, and then yeah, so it's pretty damn sick. I didn't mean to add 0. Oh, 0 is what's throwing this off. I'm like, what the hell? Can I clear my 0? I mean, I guess if I did that, then just add one more to make it an even. And then from there, now it's perfectly 12. Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, why was it 0.5? Because I added 0 like an idiot. But yes, we got this number sorter. You can clear it. Everything disappears. So that's gonna be the goal for today's project. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep this here as some reference code, but we do not want to look at this code unless we direly need to. So let's go and drop this code all the way down and begin doing this by ourselves. Okie doke. So the best and easiest spot is just going to be declaring the variables, right? I guess the next spot would be kind of trying to debate on how and where you want to start function-wise. But at the end of the day, we got this. So let's just go and start creating some variables. So I'm assuming we're going to do the drop-down container, which we could probably just call drop-down. Or I guess we could call it drop-down container. Oop, there's something in my eye. Which should equal the document dot get element by ID, and then this just has to be called the drop down. I don't know if it's uppercase. I think it's not, right? Oh, it is. Container. So that's what that is. If I could spell container, because trust me, container, because this would be the death of me if I can't do this. Then what we're gonna do is, because we're probably gonna need about like 6 of these, so let's just get them all pasted down and then fill in the blanks, okay? We're gonna fill in the blanks. So we got this. Add drop down button, I'm sure is definitely something. So we're probably gonna call this like the drop down button, or I guess we could call it the add drop down button. And then we're gonna go in here, grab this ID just in case, because you misspelled that ID, man. You were screwed. Next, we want to be able to do the sort button ID. I think that's it, right? Yeah, because we ate on these two. So now we need to do the sort button ID. So let's go sort button. And I think it was similar. Yep, it is. So the sort button, we got to just put it here. Perfection. Last but not least is the clear button. Or I'm sure there's more, but we're going to go clear button. And then we just paste that in there as well. Copy and paste. Sorry, y'all, we're doing the beginner stuff here. Doing the beginner stuff. These declarations. This could be keen to helping somebody. Next, we have to do result meta output area. I believe we got to do output area. I'm not sure if we got to do the other one. Output area. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not, because it didn't pop up. So let's go result. Okay, yeah, result L. So we're going to do the result element, which should be just result. So we got that. Let's go result. And then we need to do the last one as whatever that other one was then. I think that was meta. I believe we're going to go like meta element, basically, because what is specifically what this is, I'm assuming is just where we're going to be putting some of the results of what the hell the answer is. It says, what cart are you going for? Or what cert am I going for? Sorry, I'm going for the JavaScript certification on free code camp. But I don't know why I have it at the top as my main goal, because right now I'm building this project just on the side. I just have it up there. But it could probably throw some people off with it being up there. So we're going meta, and then I think we gotta drop meta here. Oh, I think I should zoom in. I always forget. And then that probably means I should start this on like 3, because you can't really see it. Unless I was already zoomed in, because now I just feel like it's too much. Yeah, no, I don't think I was. So we're gonna go meta. Let's kind of close these out, to be honest, just for, for clarity. Don't really need it. And then I think we need one more, which we need to fill in here with stats. And this is gonna be the stats element. Which I believe this is stats. So this is where we're gonna be putting like the display of whatever it is. So a lot of this is just gonna display a bunch of stuff. So let's drop down and let's see where we're gonna start here. I feel like we should start with the function. Because we need to create, let me see exactly what we have there. So we have the add button function add number sort clear. So one thing that I'm noticing immediately is that we don't have the drop down buttons. So we could kind of infer that we probably need to make a function that is going to end up creating a drop down. That is just gonna have to be a strong inference. And I think the last thing we need to do is we do need to create an element, because how do you create a drop down? I believe you do select. So you gotta go const select. I want to say create, or I don't know if you gotta do document. Yeah, I think you do. Document dot create element. And then we gotta go, I think it's select, right? Yeah, select. Okay, I was gonna say. So then that should immediately create like a selection, I believe. And that should immediately create a selection. If y'all are new here, man, definitely hit that subscribe button on the road to 2,560. Would be super dope if we could hit that in the middle of this live stream. So now let me try to talk my way through this. So from here, if we're creating the drop down select button, there has to be more, because then from here we have to make it to where the type would be number. So how would we get there? I'm not sure, but let's just start this with a for loop, because I feel like with this for loop, we're gonna have to be doing something that can end up allowing me to pick a number from like 0 to 100, right? I think this is what we would do this for. So like, let's go let I equal 0, because this is what we did in the last project. And then I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do like, we could do like I is less than or equal to, well, that's like an arrow. Actually, is less than or equal to 100. And then I think we just could do I plus plus, I believe. And then that should be enough. Hopefully that allows me to go from 0 to 100 in my dropdown. Now, I don't know if it should pop up yet. I think I have to call it anyway to be able to see if it's working. But the best thing that I could do is probably do a console.log just to see if it's working. But I don't remember if I have to do create dropdown, or do I do the little parentheses on the side. Let me see if I can do the parentheses on the side, because I think technically, well, not really actually, even if it were to work, it's like I think you still need to do a couple more things. That's probably why we wouldn't see anything anyway. Yeah, because we still would, I'm forgetting too, like we still would have to have it to where that button ends up clicking. So I guess there's no point in checking anything just yet. But here now, we need to be able to create, oh yeah, because that's why, because I'm stupid. So we got the select, meaning we have the drop down, but now we need to be able to create an option. So from here, we're going to call this opt, and we're going to do a document dot create element, right? If I can find it, dot create element, and then we're going to do option from here. And then now that we have the option created, we need to go opt, I believe, dot value at some point. We got to go opt dot value has to end up equaling I. So the option equals whatever I is, or your value is whatever you pick for I. Because I'm assuming from here I can be 0 to 100, so your value will equal I. So next we got to do something with the value, with opt, which I believe we're going to be targeting the text content. I'm not sure if I'm just supposed to leave the text content like blank, or, well, I guess the text content would technically be I, right? Because that's what you're going to be typing, and that's what the text needs to be, so you can see that. And then last but not least, all we would have to do is go select dot append child, and then from here we can end up make sure I'll end up liking up this string. But from here, then I would have to append child, I think, to the option. something like that. I'm going to append child, I think, to the option. And then that might be it for this create dropdown function, I believe. Let me see if maybe now it will pop up console.log. And maybe it's 2 because I'm like logging it outside of the function. Let me try different things because I think now it should pop up. Obviously, but it's not like we put it in the background. So I feel like the fact that it's not popping up is a little bit concerning. Maybe it could be that they want me to throw it in here. Like within my function? I'm sure it's working though. It's probably just because of something. Maybe I'm using the console.log incorrectly. But I think we're good. Hey, you're back. Hey, what's up? I didn't know you left, my guy. I did not know you left. But next, we are going to have to return select. So maybe this could be my issue. Select. And maybe I can now console.log it. But if I do console.log again and it doesn't work, I'm going to just, that's it. I'm going to be obliterated. So now the next thing, now that we finally have this drop-down selection working, now we kind of just have to go and target some other stuff, which I'm not too sure. But what I'm assuming is we created the drop-down, but this is probably why it's not popping up. It's because I'm realizing we might have to add that to the, we're going to have to add that to the drop-down container. I was not thinking of that. So then from here, since we're going to be trying to add this to the drop-down container, now this is when we end up doing the function for add the drop-down button, or not that, but we're going to do, because we already have the button, but we got to do add a drop-down function, because now we need to get up in here and we need to just end up, going crazy. Make sure y'all end up liking up the stream. Make sure y'all end up hitting the subscribe button. That would be super damn dope. Super damn dope. So within here, we gotta go drop down container. First of all, actually, I was like, where are we getting this drop down container from? I don't know if we're append childing the drop down container, or do we have to do drop down container something else? But I think we are, and what we're doing is we're append childing the create drop down button, our function, I believe, and then that should honestly be it for that function. Not too positive, but I guess we'll see from there. But I think that's correct. And then now what we need to do is try and get all the chosen numbers. So let's try and go with the function, because there needs to be a way where whatever numbers you've chosen are going to be the ones that stay locked in because you click that sort button, right? But I don't think we're going to be getting into the buttons yet. This is just how we're going to get all the numbers. So I think the best thing to call this is just get numbers. And then we're going to have to jump here. And then from here, I'm not sure if I'm going into the drop down container again. I feel like I might be, but maybe not in the way I think. Maybe not in the way I think. I'm not too positive. Because I feel like at some point, I'm gonna have to go drop down container dot like, but then what am I doing exactly when we're getting all of these? Because the thing is that we already like did a select option up here. So do we have to make another select again for the get numbers? I'm not too sure. Not too shabby. This is pretty good so far though. It's quite easy. But I think so, right? I believe what we're probably supposed to do from here is we're supposed to do maybe create another. But the thing is, it's like if we're creating another select, would it be selects? Like, should I do that? I'm not sure. And then go document. Wait, no, not even document. I think now we go drop down container dot create element, something like that, or query selector. And then from here, oh, because that's what we're doing. So now we're basically selecting the select. I think we're selecting it from the drop-down container, but the drop-down container doesn't have that. Unless that is where we ended up adding this. Oh yeah, because we created the drop-down and then we appended the child. Okay, so that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. So I guess we're targeting this select, but to get the numbers, but I just don't. I guess this is what we're doing here, but probably because we need to do something else here, because I think this is where it gets a little bit crazy. I think we got to go return array dot select, I believe, or I don't think that would make sense. This is awesome. Good luck with the project. A, thank you so much. I think it should be dot something selects. Something has to hold selects. I'm just not too positive exactly what. I feel like I might have to look at the reference code for this one. But I do remember array being the first one that popped up, but I'm not sure exactly what's supposed to be coming after this. What is supposed to be coming after this? Yeah, I think I might have to look at my reference code for this one because I'm not feeling that. So it's supposed to be array.from selects.map. Oh, that's going to be hell. That's going to be hell. I think, honestly, if I keep getting a look at everything here, though, it looks quite easy next. So it's going to be array.from, and then I guess it goes selects. And then from here, I think it's .map is what they said. But then I kind of forgot. I think it might have been cell, which I don't know what the hell cell is. Right? That's what they said. Is that what they said to do? Cell is equal to or greater than cell.value. Oh, I guess cell is supposed to be short for select, but when the hell did we do that? When the hell did we declare a cell? I mean, maybe you don't have to declare it. Maybe you can just call it cell. And then you're supposed to do, I think it's like the arrow, and then it was supposed to be like number, because I definitely would not have remembered this. I'm not even gonna cap. And then it's supposed to be cell.value. And then I believe we're finished here, which is pretty good. Let's see what is the next stop I need to get into. See if I can go off of some memory. Hi from Argentina. It's a temporal variable. Oh, okay. So that's. I feel like this is deja vu. I don't know if it was specifically you, where I was like, why is this written? And then someone was like, oh, that's just a variable. I'm like, what the hell? Our temporary variable. That is so funny. Let me see something real quick. I do have a video that's supposed to be coming out later tonight. Hopefully y'all end up enjoying it. Y'all seem to love the barbershop episode, which is amazing. So next, by the way, if y'all are new here, man, hit that subscribe button. Truly, it'll be super damn dope. But next, I think my goal is going to be to sort the numbers like in the ascending way. So going from like 1 to 0. So I think we need to go function sort numbers ascending, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to sort the numbers a different way at some point, right? So I believe from here, this is just where it's gonna be like return r.slice, which we just saw a little bit earlier, which is why I'm moving a bit more faster, by the way, chat. Don't judge me. And we're gonna go A, B. This was literally what we ended up doing, I think, in the is this what they want me to do? Or did I just go too far? I think I went too far. Oh, well, technically, yeah, I think they do want like an implicit return. But then I think from here, I'm trying to remember what I did last time, because you do dot slice dot sort. I remember declaring A and B, but then from where do we do this? Because if it's going to be ascending, sort number ascending, I think that's when you do the 2 arguments or something, or maybe they're not called arguments. Actually, I think they are. You do like the 2 arguments of like A, I think it's supposed to be A plus B, or is it minus? And then you do the comma, you hit that with 0. I believe it's how this one ends. I'm not too positive, in all honesty. Not too positive. I could have screwed this. Did I go somewhere else with this? Maybe it is supposed to be A minus B. I'm not sure, because what are we doing? Because we're trying to sort the numbers ascending. So would it be A minus B or A plus B? I don't know. I think it would be A minus. I feel like my soul was saying A minus. I went back on it. It didn't look right. So I feel like I'm on to the right steps here. I think I'm on to something. It. So I would have to say my next one would probably be, what else would we have to do? So if we already targeted the numbers ascending, the get numbers, the add drop down, doing the create drop down. I feel like from here, we've we didn't really touch the buttons yet though. So I guess the buttons are going to be coming later, but from what it looks like we kind of got all three of these, not these two, because these two are specifically the buttons, but kind of targeted it already. So I feel like the next thing we're probably going to have to do is maybe it could be result clear. But I feel like the clear button is a little bit easier. Result and meta are easier. Maybe we're getting into the stats of things. Maybe that's what we're going. So maybe if you calculate stats, go here, drop it down. Now exactly how we're going to calculate these stats is where hell will arise. Now I think for a while we're going to be calling something ARR. But in my head it's like, where was that declared? Do I need to declare ARR? Or am I able to put this like, oh, I guess you don't. Oh, because I think you could put it as like a parameter. And that's how you do that. It says, do good, bud. All the very best to you. Hey, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. But, no, yeah. So let me see. So I think we're going R here. And this is where R starts getting used everywhere. Because it's somewhat of like the perimeter. You know what I mean? So I think from here, if we're going to be calculating stats and we're going to be calculating numbers, I think one of the things that could be a little bit of common sense would have to be math.floor, right? Because you got to make it into an integer, a full integer. So you can't give, I guess, like half numbers, negative numbers, right? It wouldn't work that way. So I think the only thing I could think of, which I'm not even too positive, but I feel like we're going to have to, actually, I don't know. Maybe I actually don't know where I'm going. Should I do tisk? I'm not positive, y'all. I'm not positive where to go from here. I think I might have to do something with, of course, this array. But I think maybe we should target if it's not an array. Or whatever the hell. I feel like that's what we're gonna target. Wait, is that an implicit return or did I just screw that? But I think we would have to go not array dot length though. And then from here, I'm kind of confused on how I'm supposed to write this motherfucker. How am I supposed to write this? Oh, I think I don't have to do a drop down. I think I can just straight up do return. But what am I returning? So if it's not an array length, which I'm assuming is, actually, what is that saying? If it's not, because I know it's saying not an array, but dot length is where I'm getting confused. So it's like, with dot length, is that talking about anything within like 0 to 100? So if it's not 0 to 100, you would return null. I mean, maybe that's what that's saying. Possibly. I could be incorrect, right? I've never claimed to be the smartest in the room, I think. And then from here, I want to say from like here, maybe, oh my gosh, hold on, y'all. Okay. I want to say from like here, this is where it's a little bit tricky. Actually, not really. I think I actually remember this one. Because I feel like from here, if we're calculating the stats, that means we're going to be getting into median, mean, mode, right? In this specific one. Unless we got into mode later. But I feel like we're going to be getting into mean, median. Might get into like mode or range later. Or maybe it's in here, I'm not sure. But I think this is where you calculate the mean. And then you're doing this, and then you're probably going to do like r dot reduce, right? And then this is where you do the thing that I was just doing at the top. So I'm like overcomplicating it. But in reality, oh wait, hold on a second. I think I'm supposed to do this. What the hell? I think I'm supposed to do this, and then it just gets in the A and B, and then you do this, and then that's when it was A plus B, and then you do the comma. I knew I wasn't tripping. I'm like, I vividly remember doing this, and then you go 0, and then I think that ends that. But I think for this one, you're dividing by r dot length, like they said, like we did in free code camp, by the way. So free code camp is definitely goated place to be. Definitely. So then from here, I'm not too positive where to go. Real quick, give me 1 second. I want to check how much subs are we at today. Probably didn't go up at all, to be honest. Oh, damn, I think we actually dropped. Oh my goodness. Y'all, we need about 4 subscribers to end up hitting 1,560. Can we make it, y'all? Can we truly make it? Hopefully we can. I honestly am praying that we do so. Oh my goodness, can my phone get it together? My phone get it together. I'm trying to see chat. So now we're doing this reduce thing. So now I believe we probably need to end up getting into the median here, because if we're calculating stats, I'm assuming these stats are probably what is going to be in the label statistics. Where is that at? Oh, okay. So this is what we're targeting. So I wonder why. I mean, maybe mode in range do appear in here. But then again, what if they actually appear in here and that's why? Maybe it appears in the result. I honestly don't remember. I should have took a screenshot of what everything kind of looked like from previously. But let's go let median, because I don't want to do something scary. But we're just going to leave it like that for now. We're going to go const. I'm not too sure, but I think this is now where we get into, I believe, the math.floor. So I think we're just going to go like this, go math.floor. What exactly are we adding in here? Of course, it's going to be the array.length. That's literally what we've been doing this whole time. But then I think we're dividing that by 2. I think. Actually, no, I don't think that's how that's supposed to look. I think it says -1. And then you hop out. And then you go like -r. Oh, am I tripping? What the hell am I doing? Hold on real quick. Because now I'm throwing myself off. I'm throwing myself off big time. Oh, no, I think it was supposed to be divided by 2. Inside. Okay, never mind. Woof, I started throwing myself off a little bit. Started doing things a little bit ahead. Then I think from here, we got to go r.length is going to be the percentage remainder of 2, which is going to equal 0 in this if statement. And then now this is finally where we decide to declare the median to be r. And then I think we're just going mid. Actually, never mind, because it needs to be an array. So I think we're going mid -1. I think is how that's going. And then you're doing that plus, I think, just r and then mid in general. I believe, if I can remember exactly what we're doing. And then you divide that by 2, close that out. So this is honestly going a little bit crazy. I think this is just calculating the stats though. So then let me just go else here based off of memory, by the way, because memory is sometimes key. We're going to have to go median is going to equal r and then mid. And I think that's where this goes. And and then still inside of this. So we need to really keep targeting the median, the mean, and mode and range somewhere in here at some point, bro. So I think this is what gets the median. Because with the median, whatever number you pick, you need to not divide it by 2. I gotta remember what the hell. Okay, so the median, you're trying to get the number in the middle, but you do need to, I think, do this if the number in the middle is an uneven number. So that's probably why it's doing stuff like this here. Possibly, I don't know. I might need to get a code breakdown specifically for this code, because like I kind of get what it's doing, but not really. So break it down. Walls of Jericho. Hopefully one of y'all got that reference. If y'all didn't, it's all good. It is all good. We all don't need to be fans of a certain show. So now let's finally go and get the constant range. That's the only thing that I feel like just makes sense. And to get the constant range, I believe you're doing kind of very similar things with dot length array. If I could spell dot length, that's the scariest part about this whole code, is that I misspelled dot length somewhere. That's really where it's going to be petrifying. Then you're going -1, which I always forget what -1 is doing. I don't know if -1 is targeting the last one or if -1 is targeting the next one ish, or the one before the last one. Something like that. Well, range, honestly, okay, you know what? It makes sense, because range, you're trying to get the last one. So maybe it is targeting the one before the last one. And that's probably why you have to do array 0, so then it could get you to be specifically at the last one. Yes, this makes sense. This makes sense. So we got that. Range isn't supposed to be hard. The only, I think, hardest one was honestly when it came to median sometimes, because, like I said, normally median is just whatever the middle number is, but sometimes, you know, you put an uneven number, you put an even number, like let's say you do 6, getting that median, you got to do some math here, which is what this is. So now, I don't think we're going to be getting into, what is the next one? It's mode, median. Well, I think we eventually got to get into mode, because mode is what's going to be what pops up the most. So not sure when we're going to end up getting into that. Actually, you know what? I think we are going to get into it right now. So let's call this like, I think I'm going to call it like frequency, like freak. And then we're going to have to go like this. We're going to leave that as like an empty object, or empty bracket, sorry. Let me not call it an object. I don't know if it's going to be an object yet, but I think we're going for each. What the hell did they do? Stop, don't play. It was what it was. So this is going to be for each, and I think I could honestly do an implicit return here. So don't play me. I don't know why they tried to force me like that. I could do an implicit return. And then the element, which I believe is something, does it need to be something I declared? I don't think so. I think this is like a replacement variable is what I was just told a little bit earlier. But then from here, we're going to go frequency, and then we're going to go n, and then we're going to have to go equals frequency. Actually, no, this needs to be in its own parentheses. So we got to go freak, and then we're going to go here, and I think we're going like n again. But this time you have to hit them with the stop playing with them. And then you're going into 0, and I believe you're doing +1 here. Perfection. I think that makes way more sense. Frequency, because this is supposed to be, I guess, doing the mode, but because it may be a multiple, or there may be multiple that are considered the mode, you need to kind of like allow it to put all the numbers that would be put there, right? Because if you have a number, like 2 numbers that appear at the same time, you can't pick one as the mode because they have the same appearance. So I think that's what it's trying to do here, is trying to be like, you know, it can, you know, I understand it. It's hard to explain. But then I think we're going math.max, and then from here, this is like the first time we end up getting into this ... which is amazing. But object dot value from here, and then I believe what we need to do, make sure you're on the hitting that like button, y'all hit that subscribe button. Hey, we got this to 10 likes. Y'all are lit. It says, is it a to-do list project? No, this is actually a number sorter project. So real quick, let me show y'all what it looks like. So real quick, this is what it's going to be: smallest to largest. Then it's going to have the results, it's going to have the statistics, a sort button, a clear button. As of right now, though, we haven't really been targeting the buttons yet. We're actually targeting the, I guess, the behind the scenes type of knowledge. And then eventually we can come back and go and target that. So now we can finally declare const mode, now that we declared everything else. So then from here, I'm assuming I might need help with this one. So I might need to look at my reference code, guys, because this one, I'm actually not too sure. I feel like I remembered this, but there's something about this frequency equals modes that's throwing me off. So I guess I'm going object keys frequency. Then I'm doing a dot filter, a dot map. I don't think I'm gonna be able to remember that. But I know I could do object keys. So I think you're just hopping right into it. Like object, what? It honestly needs to be uppercase. So like object dot keys frequency. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to remember the rest though. Because if we do like frequency, right? Then what was it? It was like dot filter. All I remember is doing dot filter, dot map. That's like the only thing. That's the only thing I remember. So I gotta kind of understand what in the hell is going on. What am I writing in this filter and this map? I believe. Let me try to get a quick overview. Then if I don't remember it from this, I'm just gonna stop and try to figure it out myself. So we're doing K arrow frequency K. So map is probably the easiest one, but K arrow frequency K equals max frequency. And then I guess map is just going to be number. But I don't know. Actually, damn, can I go back real quick? This is unfair. This is unfair. Okay, it's uppercase number. And then, damn, what was this again? I think it was K arrow, then K frequency. Or, oops, wrong way. Freak. And then you're going K again. And then I think from here, don't remember. Oh, but it has to, I think it has to be max freak. Because that's something that we didn't put yet. But we also didn't put that modes anywhere. That's a little bit strange. Maybe we're getting into modes now. I'm not positive. But I think from here, though, we practically kind of wrote all of the knowledge. Because this is supposed to be for the mode. Probably should leave a note that says that. Because everything else kind of looks like familiar. But for some reason, we decided to name this freak, you know, the brackets and then stuff like that. So I'm not too sure. I'm not too shabby. I feel like, yeah. So then these still need to be declared. So median got touched, range didn't get touched, and modes didn't get touched. So I think the smartest thing would be return. I believe, and then I think we should go in order. So let's just go like mean. I think you do a comma. Wait, hold on. I think you go mean, you do a comma, and then you're going median. I think you're still gonna, oh yeah, and then range. But then we gotta do mode, but then I think we're just gonna signify that modes is modes. And then just kind of leave it like that, to be honest. And I believe that should be fine. I'm not too sure, not too shabby. Let me real quick go and check something. Hey, we got one more subscriber, 1,557. Whoever did that is super goated. Super goated. So then next, I think this is finally where we get into some of the nitty gritty here. So let's get into the function where, because we already got the stats. We already declared the drop down. The only other thing we didn't do is like do, you know, of course, these buttons, but we already got the logic behind it. So I think the only thing we don't have the logic for is the result. And I think the result, if the statistics is showing the mode and stuff like that, that means the result is going to be what actually sorts the button from lowest to highest. I believe is what that was. So that's kind of how we have to think about this, is how are we getting this to be lowest to highest in a way. And so this immediately is going to just have to be called show result. I think that's pretty obvious. And then we could probably call this sorted. Drop this down. And then, honestly, from here, I'm not too shabby. Exactly what this should be. I'm not up to par. I think the first thing we should do, and normally what you should do when it comes to result, is always declare what happens if it doesn't have like that number. So let's say, for instance, we do not sorted dot length, because I think dot length means it's like doing for all the numbers. If I'm getting that wrong, my apologies. But we're going dot length, and then so what we're going to do is declare what happens if pretty much you don't have a number that matches. So here, what I'm probably going to do is, it can't show nothing. So if the number is not sorted, or it's not a sorted number, like I don't know if this means it doesn't, the number is not allowed to be sorted, as in like we decided to go outside the number, or is it saying if it's not sorting, this is what you're doing? I'm not too positive, but I feel like if it's not sorting, I'm probably going to do something like that. And then we're going to get into the meta L, which text content, which I believe with the meta, I don't remember exactly what meta is doing. Where do we have it declared? We have meta here. Oh, they did something like this. Maybe that's what I was supposed to do. I don't even know how to write that. Where is that on my screen? A big dash. Oh, I see it. What the hell? Wait, no, that's not the big dash. Never mind. That was the underscore. This is probably something you're able to do on your keyboard. But then stats also has that same thing. So I know that definitely the next one, which I don't know what to put in that one. Not meta. I think it'll be stats L. dot text content would have to be equals the same thing. So paste that. It would have to be that. But then when it comes to the meta content, there's nothing really written in here. So I feel like we're probably supposed to write something out. So maybe it's supposed to be one of those things that is going to tell us like what is going on. So maybe we should do pick numbers, or I don't know. Pick numbers. Maybe they try to pick outside the numbers, I think is what this is. And then the last but not least, we hit them with that return. And so now that function is good. I believe we're still doing it inside of the show result function. I mean, that if statement is good, but we're still doing stuff outside of here. But y'all, we are coming closer to the end of this project. I don't think I can make too much progress. Honestly, I think we came like halfway. This isn't bad. Like when you realize that a lot of it is just kind of breaking it down in like slower patches, in the end, you always can just overcome and you can always do it. So I think this was pretty cool. I think this was pretty nice. I think from here though, because I do want to be able to still try and get my JavaScript certification, since we're more towards the end, I am going to, do this. Oh, that's where the mean and median came from. So my number sorter wasn't even supposed to have a mean and median. I think I just did that by accident. Well, oh yeah, because I basically kind of made a statistics calculator by accident. Huh. So what the hell was my number sorter? I think the number sorter was just getting it to go from like lowest to, oh, so I'm making this project be a mix of like both of them. Oops, that wasn't what I was trying to do. But it's all right. I mean, I guess that's probably the best part of that. But to get the median of the array with an odd number of elements, you will need to find you need to find and return the middle number. So here is how to find the middle number of an array with an odd number of elements. So real quick, let me just go see what's going on here. Here's how to find the middle number of an array with an odd number. You do math.floor array.length divided by 2. So I was doing things that I wasn't even taught yet for real. I mean, obviously, I feel like it's kind of like understandable, but the reason why you use math.floor is because the result of dividing the odd number by 2 will be a decimal. Math.floor will round down to the nearest whole number. So to declare this variable, I'm assuming they want me to declare it after. So we're going to go odd list. I can't believe I literally did what I am doing here a little bit too early. And then assign it the result of finding the middle number of test array 1. The result of finding the middle number, what are we saying? Of test array 1, then log odd list variable to the console. So I'm just going to do the easier parts here. Because sometimes it's the way that they word it that I feel like throws me off. I think it's going to be odd list median. But sometimes it's the way that I feel like they word it that throws me off. Because it's like, what do you mean? Assign it the result of finding the middle number of test array. Like, do they literally mean doing this? Yeah, no. Maybe it's dot length. I mean, if not, then it's probably literally what we did at the top. What the hell? 0. Alright, so it's not that. It's not that. It's not that. Let me see. So maybe it's supposed to be... Oh yeah, I'm stupid because I'm forgetting the math.floor. I'm just trying to do whatever I see at the top. So maybe it's supposed to be math.floor. Is it R? Math.floor. And we gotta go arm.length. And then I think that's when you do like divided by 2. I believe so. I believe so. I believe so. How's that not right? Result of finding the middle number for test R1 to the odd list median, and remember to refer to the example from earlier. Oh, so it's basically, oh, I'm stupid. It's because they did R, but I'm realizing they probably want me to use this. Okay, there we go. That was simple. That was definitely my fault. Definitely my fault there. Thank y'all so much for tuning into this live stream. Y'all are super goated. Super, super, super goated. Can my supporter screen surpass? Alrighty, let's keep this pushing. Let's keep this swavy. Oh, I forgot I was supposed to actually record for my my vlog today, y'all. I have a vlog coming out. I think I have a video coming out today, so I have a vlog coming out in the day after, something like that. So I gotta end up actually like vlogging a little bit of my experience, y'all. Of my experience. I don't know what a good camera angle would be. Probably like right here. Brother, can my phone please prop up? Paper has never pissed me off more. Okay, here we go. Actually, not even, because that don't even get me. Maybe if I do this. Bruh. Hold on, y'all. I might have to get a different angle today. A different angle today. That actually is better. So to find the median of an even list of numbers, you need to find the two middle numbers and calculate the mean of those numbers. Here's how to find the two middle numbers of an even list of items. So to find the median, you can use the getMean function, which adds the middle numbers and divides the sum by 2. So create and add an even list median variable. So I'm assuming we're doing it after the console.log, and then we're just going to copy and paste exactly what we have written here, and assign it the result of finding the median of test R1, which I believe if we're trying to find the median, we need to do something like this. I believe we're doing test R2, and I think we might have to hit them with this, then test R2 again, but put this in a dot length, I believe. And then from here, divide that by 2, and then I think from here, you're doing like -1 or something. It's gonna be something like that. Something like that, I'm not sure. Let me see. Oh, and then I gotta do the console.log, but I could still be off a little bit. Oh my goodness. Why am I uppercase? Even list median. And then maybe that could work. No, not really. So this ain't finding the median. Refer back to the example for extra help. So maybe they don't need the -1. Get mean. So I think this is for the mean, though. Is this the median or the mean? So numbers.length, test R2.length. So they're doing the first one. I think that they're talking about that being the first one, this being the second one would have to be -1. But unless maybe it's supposed to be a little bit different. Test R2. Am I spelling that right? Even list median variable. How am I not getting this? So to find the median, you can use the getMean function, which adds the middle numbers and divides the sum. Oh. I'm realizing what they're talking about. I'm missing a whole thing. So they want me to do getMean function. And they want me to do, basically, put this in here. Wait, why is that not working? Why is my getMean function looking funny? But they want me to basically do test1. So that's what I was missing. Oops. Just had to keep rereading. Test1 and then test2. And then I think that'll work. Is that not what they're talking about? You should assign the result of finding the median of the variable. Why is this not working? Does it need to close off? Is it getting confused? Because it's just acting like I'm writing something instead of acting like I'm writing a variable. I mean, I'm writing a function. That's weird. To find the median, you can use the get mean function, which adds the middle numbers and divides the sum by 2. Why can't I get the get mean? I'm not sure. This is confusing because technically I think I did everything right. You got test R2, then you're doing test R2 dot length divided by 2 minus 1. Refer back to the example for extra help. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go real quick. Maybe it could be that I just mistyped something, or it could be that I did that completely wrong. But I'm not positive. I feel like I did it right. Array dot reduce is not a function. Which part of the teller? Let me see what they did. They did something like mean equals get mean. Wait, no, where the hell are they? I don't even know where they are. Hold on, let me go back. So this one is step 24. Let's just go with the first one. Oh wait, this was the first one. So where the hell did they write theirs? I can't even see it. Oh, right here. Oh, so they did get mean. Oh, wait, is that what I'm doing? I don't think that's what, I think he overthought that, or maybe I'm tripping. Okay, it's me. It's me. I'm tripping then. So then that means this needs to be scratched. And what they're doing is they're trying to do something like up here that says get mean, and then they're trying to like wrap it in this. You should have a variable named even list median. Do I not, my guy? Did I misspell or something? Even list median. I mean, that's what everybody is doing. It says also put a semicolon after your thing. Look at the example code. What are you missing from yours? So you did test R, test R2. You did -1. First middle number, second middle number. That is confusing myself. So then I guess he really got to the point. So basically you had to write it twice. I thought the first number was the test array or whatever the hell. I thought the first, can we, like, give me what I want? Bruh. Okay, copy that. So now let me try this. So they did this. That clearly didn't work. This is something about putting the semicolon after the console.log. Then it says, what is different about yours? They did no brackets. Real quick, they kept it all in the same bracket with a comma. That seems to be, for me, what that is. Oh wait, no, but then I think you're gonna need this one though. But then I think you just close it here. Or maybe you do need this. Is that what that was? Because you need test. Okay, maybe you do need that there then. Or maybe you don't need that here. I don't get it. I don't get what they want me to do. Because we're doing test array 2. So we're doing test array 2 dot length divided by 2, comma. Then we're doing test array 2 dot length divided by 2 minus 1. Right? That's what we're doing. And then the get mean is putting them together. What in the hell? What am I doing there that I'm not doing here? To me, it seems like it has to be the placement. It seems like it has to be that. Oh. Alright. That was too long. That was too damn long. I honestly forgot that I was even filming. I completely forgot that I was even filming, bro. I sat here going crazy for no reason. But all right, y'all, we're coming towards the end of this stream. If y'all have any questions y'all want to ask, definitely go and ask away. Ask away, ask away, ask away. It is okay. Any types of questions. But currently, what I will say though is that I have been documenting this journey since day 0 all the way up until day 161. And I feel like I know enough, of course, to make websites, which is amazing. But now I'm trying to learn the depths of JavaScript. But like I said, something ended up happening, which should come out in my vlog in 2 days, where I kind of started feeling discouraged. And I take you all along, how I really feel. It's a vlog, but I was just talking about it. But how I really feel about this like tech industry and, my fears and stuff like that in life. And it's honestly just been a little bit sad, a little bit draining. So I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. But I'm glad that y'all ended up coming out watching the stream. Thank y'all so much, man. Normally we have more people. I don't know what ended up happening with that, but I guess sometimes that's just how YouTube be working, man. Sometimes it gets recommended to people, sometimes it don't. But I'm glad that in the end we did end up at least getting one sub. Well, technically yesterday though, I was at 1,558. So the fact that I woke up today and I was at 1,556 and then we only got back to 557, it's like, yeah, something's definitely going on with the channel as well. And I don't know if maybe it could be because so I swear something ended up happening with YouTube. But no, yeah, so then that in itself is a little bit like saddening as well. But I guess y'all will end up hearing that all in the vlog. You know what I mean? Y'all will see my true emotions behind everything. And I guess that's really the point of that video. So I hope y'all ended up enjoying this live stream. Y'all will be seeing me tomorrow in the next live stream. Hopefully y'all end up tuning in there. I probably should be finishing up this project, and then when I finish it, probably hop back on Free Code Camp to, I guess, do a new project in the end. So love y'all. Be catching y'all later. Hey, what is up, Mac Man? What is up? I'll be catching y'all later. I'm gonna be hopping off of this. Gotta get ready for work. Deuces. Catch y'all in the next one.